Hello.
Hello.
Here we are. Back with another stream.
Oh, I know.
Stream eller stream.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't mind me. Just continue.
I wasn't really looking at what you were doing. I was just looking into
Space.
the abyss.
The eternal abyss.
Yeah.
I see.
So, last time we started Wosawa and Kano got nowhere with them. I mean, we got 2 keep-outs, one for each of them.
Yeah. We did.
So
There's that.
we need to fix that today and see if we can finish the time slot.
Yeah.
So let's get going.
Let's get right into it. Since we didn't really do that much last time. Explosion! Look at how many bad ends you accumulated. 24!
Yeah. So we have a keep-out there and a keep-out over.
But also,
So we need a jump around here.
that
That
guy. Clearly Kano. Oh, not run. Ah, no, that's not. That's Minorikawa. You already did that one.
Yeah.
Isn't it from Minorikawa you have to jump? I think.
Is it?
Yeah, because you got in contact with him right there. Man in a business suit.
Man.
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 Wow. Okay.
Turns to see
Man
a man in a suit.
Okay.
Jump.
The mouse is having a rave.
Yeah, it does. It's so funny it does that. You don't need to see.
It's because it keeps getting like electric.
Yeah. Keep getting connected, disconnected, connected, disconnected from the computer. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, because there's still an output
Yeah.
on the computer, so that's what.
That's
it's
just having a brave party.
And I mean, the other light is going more hand.
Yeah, I know. That's the one I always do.
Several people were on the ground, nearby evidently injured by the explosion. A girl in a hoodie was crouched among them, doing her best attempt to...
A girl. Nico Morita, while walking along opposite of Minorikawa for not introducing her to an IQ also happened across the aftermath of the event was unable to stand 95 and faced a horrific scene. She pitched in a space. Good to wounded.
To hurt the wounded.
What the hell? Jesus.
Kind of recognized her as the girl he talked to earlier during the traffic jam. Police! He announced. Get back, let me handle this. The girl was visibly relieved. Help her, she said. That's clearly a man.
No.
Is it not?
Pretty sure it's a short-haired woman. You just can't see the boobs.
Sure. She pointed to a figure lying on the sidewalk, a short distance from the running window.
Gotcha.
Sure thing, buddy.
Yeah.
Kanan.
Ah, it's kind of laying over there.
Middle Eastern girl. She appeared to be unconscious. I think she got hurt rescuing another girl about college age.
Eh?
The girl in the hoodie said, "Oh, I'm sorry.
You make me yawn.
A college-age girl? That might be you to me. What happened to the girl she saved?" Kano asked. The Good Samaritan looked around. Where did she go? The rescuee had disappeared. This girl here, the girl in the hoodie, gestured towards the fallen girl. I can't believe how fast she was. She spoke with a hint of awe. The way she moved to get that other girl. She was on a level way beyond mine. Kano took another look at the injured girl. Her figure looked rather delicate. It was hard to believe she was capable of great feats of athleticism. Athleticism.
Difficult word to pronounce, yeah.
Athleticism. Athleticism. Athleticism.
Yeah.
What's your pulse?
She's just looking over here like, what are you doing over there?
Yeah, we got a new bird.
She's sitting on top of Apollo's cage right now.
Yeah. She's a tame bird, so we can have her out.
Oh, don't
How
fall!
about?
She's looking at us like, what the fuck?
Yeah. She's like, what are you doing in there? Started toward her, but Stanley stepped ahead of him. "It is one to me," he said. His expression was unusually stern, even for him. "You know her?" Kano asked. The American didn't answer as he checked the girl's pulse and then her pupils. Oh, that reminds me. We should probably... Can we do that in here? No!
Do what?
Sound.
Oh, you want to sound a bit down for the game?
Yeah, probably. What is?
It's already down to 50.
Oh. Okay. Well then.
It's fine.
Hey, Stanley. Don't you have other things you should be doing? Stanley snapped. Fine then.
Excuse me!
It kind of decided to collect some eyewitness accounts.
Hey, you! Journalist guy! Talk to me!
Talk to me!
Tell me!
Toss me! What?
He's not a dwarf.
Patrol cars and ambulances arrived at the scene in a steady stream. Once the vehicle fire was under control, things gradually began to calm down. Several officers worked to cover the area around the burned millionaire with a blue tarp. Kano got his questioning underway, starting by flashing his badge at a man near the front of the crowd. "Excuse me, would you mind answering a few questions?" The man puffed himself up. "How about you answer a few questions for me? Was this an accident or an attack?" "We still don't know many details," Kano admitted. The man shoved his finger in Kano's face. "Let me rephrase that for you. This is a major incident."
Huh?
Huh? Huh?
Huh?
I've been around the block for a few times, and I know all about your police PR lingo. And when you start talking about the details, that is 100% indicative of a major incident.
Sure thing, Bobby.
Well, I sure picked the wrong guy to try and talk to. Stifling his frustration, Kano continued his questioning. "Did you happen to notice anything unusual prior to the explosion?" "Unusual? Now that you mention it, I think I heard a cell phone ringtone." "Ringtone?" "No, never mind. Forget that. There's no way the ringtone on someone's phone would be audible throughout all that." The man was probably right, but somehow the idea nagged at Kano. He jotted down a note in his pad. Kano. It was Stanley. Perfect timing. Thank you for your cooperation, Kano told the man. Then he hurried on his way. Stanley stepped in close enough to whisper. Who was that guy? An eyewitness to the explosion, apparently. Did he have any info? He said he heard a cell phone ringtone at the time of the explosion. Not sure if that's significant, though. Stanley stood silently for a moment, thinking.
It's very significant.
What about that girl? Kano asked. Has she woken up? No. I'm going to drive her to the hospital. Huh? Why'd you let yourself? Just look around, Stanley said. He cast his eyes out over the scene. There were still so many injured people lying on the roadside. It seemed the authorities hadn't sent enough ambulances. But isn't your car back in Mario Macho?
Mario Yamato.
Is that not what I said?
Did, but you said Mario Yamacho.
Oh. Macho.
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 It's Mario Yamato. I don't know why they don't put it there.
Kano asked. Under the circumstances, I think it makes sense for me to go back for it, Stanley replied coolly. Besides, I have a few things I'd like to ask her. Kano was curious. Kano? Yes. His name is now Kano. Kano.
Can opener?
Yeah. He sure is. You do? He asked. Stanley's cell rang. Yes, Stanley answered the phone in English. As he listened, his demeanor changed. The blood drained from his face, and his hand began to tremble slightly as it gripped as it gripped the phone. Kano had never seen him this shaken up. You got it, Stanley said at last.
Well, he's just sitting at the edge of the cage like, I don't know what I want to do. Carlos is trying to woo her so bad right now.
Yeah.
He is so in love. And she does not care, because she's not old enough to care yet. So she's just like,
Yeah.
it's cute.
He hung up the phone and let out a sigh. What is it? Kano asked. Stanley headed into an alley without responding. Kano hurried after him. Once they were out of earshot of the crowd, Stanley finally spoke. That call right now was from Gordon, my superior. Gordon Freeman. He broke off there, and for a long while was silent. He appeared to be struggling with some strong emotion. Kano was getting impatient. What is it? Kano decided to not press. What is it? Let's be soft. If it's that difficult to talk about, you don't have to. No, Stanley said. I should tell you this. He braced himself before continuing. We were contacted on our end by the mastermind of this plot. Those international criminals you mentioned?
Yes.
Correct. Roughly 8 hours ago, they infected Maria Osawa with the UA virus. Then they let her loose somewhere in Shibuya.
She's just wandering around with Anissa, by the way. It's just no idea.
Hold on. By UA, you mean? Cano thought back to his earlier conversation with Stanley. These criminals were trying to get their hands on the new drug. An antiviral drug developed by Kenji Ozawa that had been shown to be effective against the UA virus. Stanley hesitated before continuing. This is a killer virus with a 100% mortality rate once it takes hold. Kenji Ozawa's antiviral is our only means of combating it. A mortality rate of 100%?
Yeah.
It has an incubation period of 12 hours. In another 4 hours, Maria Ozawa will go symptomatic. Oh, no, that was still him. After that, she'll begin spreading the virus through the city. It's capable of airborne transmission.
Airborne transmission. You have to actually. Oh no! It ran out of power.
I think so.
Ah shit!
Yeah.
Oh
We have to
no!
restart the game.
Yeah. Damn it!
Well, it has saved.
Yeah, it does that. God damn it!
Well, sorry for this.
That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah. Turn it back on.
There you go. Alright.
I also haven't charged it in quite a while, so
Suppose.
makes sense.
Yeah. I suppose.
I think that's what happened. Either that or it lost connection, I don't know.
Either way, it's getting power now, so hopefully it'll stay connected.
Yeah.
Alright.
Shibuya Scramble!
Nice.
Load game.
Yeah.
Yes. Continue. Continue. Oh, that's where it saved. Okay.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Unsettling music.
What? Chirp chirp.
Hold on. Man. Oh man.
Oh man. There we go. Airborne transmission. Following the onset of symptoms, individuals infected with the UA virus bleed from the lungs. Oh no. And the virus is readily released into the air via coughing. It's a mini virus, actually. Infect people, except for the fact that most viruses are not capable of airborne transmission. Anyways, the UA virus is highly resilient in the open air and can survive even after saliva or more foods have evaporated. Simply getting within 2 meters of a symptomatic patient is said to carry a high risk of infection. Bodily fluids from deceased patients carry an especially high concentration of the virus, and anything contaminated with such fluids must be thoroughly sterilized before it is safe. Just like Ebola, which this one is apparently closely related to. Just saying.
Yeah. Stanley nodded. If you don't administer Kenji Ozawa's antiviral before she develops symptoms. Yes? Kano's voice was trembling now.
Shibuya is doomed.
Stanley spoke with complete certainty. Everyone in Shibuya is going to die.
Probably not only in Shibuya, considering how many people travel to and from Shibuya.
Yeah. Well, we need to find Mario Osawa
More
and
like-
get the answer to us as soon as possible.
More
Kano
like
said, panicking.
all of Tokyo is gonna die.
Yeah.
Shibuya, such a, what do you call that in English?
Hotspot?
Yeah, it's such a hot spot for like people who take the metro and shit. So a lot of people be going through here and change. So you could meet someone at the station. There's a lot of people at the station.
Stanley remained cool. Just calm down, there's more to the story than... Stanley was interrupted by a strange sound from the upper floors of a nearby building. Unsure of what it was, the two men hurriedly relocated. Poor Minarikaba. It's a blimp.
Yeah. Certainly is.
They paused when they came to a vacant lot. The place was deserted. No need to worry about being overheard here. You said there was more to the story? Kano prompted. The antiviral in question is stored in Kenji Osawa's laboratory. The lab is protected by a sophisticated security system, and apparently the storage area where the drug is kept requires fingerprint authentication from both Osawa and Tanaka. What? But Tanaka's...
Yeah.
Kano couldn't help but gasp. Tanaka was currently a fugitive, the prime suspect in the kidnapping case. There was no chance of getting any fingerprint authorization from him at this stage. Is there any other way to get in? Kano asked. The door can also be unlocked via password in place of fingerprint scanner. But we still need to know what Tanaka chose for his password.
So we still need to look for him.
In any event, Stanley said, it's evident that it's essential that we track down and secure Maria. But he went on, his voice grave. Even if we get Maria to safety, the mastermind is now in possession of the UA virus. If they want to, they can unleash a bioterrorist attack on Shibuya at any time.
Shit. That's not good.
To put it bluntly, the lives of every man, woman, and child in the city are in their hands. Kano felt a pulse of fear deep enough to give him vertigo. He slowly tilted his back. His head.
I think there's too many hisses there.
Tilted back his head and gazed at the sky, vast and blue as always. There had to be tens of thousands of people in Shibuya right now. Rumi and Shizu were among them. And they might all be dead within a day. It felt so unreal, Kano's mind almost couldn't process it. With an effort of will, he shook himself out of his daze. Now was no time to waver. We have to try, he said. In the next 4 hours, we need to find Maria Osawa and figure out a way to stop this mastermind in the Yuri virus. The words were as much for himself as were for his companion. Let's do this, Stanley. We might not always see eye to eye, but together, I feel like you and I can find a way. But Stanley averted his gaze. My job here is simply to apprehend the mastermind. Kano felt a resurgence of his earlier anger at Stanley. Once again, he was putting his duties above human life. I'm sorry. Stanley's voice was quiet. Was a quiet mutter. You should get away from Shibuya as soon as possible, Kano. Kano hadn't imagined that the American would ever be worried for him. I appreciate the warning, he said, but I'm seeing this through to the end. This isn't the sort of thing you can solve with just an effort and willpower. Even so, giving up isn't the Japanese detective way.
The detective way? What is this? The Bushido way?
Stanley let out a nasal chuckle. Back to that again, are we? Same to you? Anna managed a tiny chuckle of his own. Listen, Stanley went on after a moment. This is just between you and me. The mastermind behind this kidnapping case
Don't fall now, girls.
is an arms dealer who goes by the name Alfred. Alfard.
Alfard. Yeah, what is that I'm wearing? Alright, arms dealer. Beyond simply selling weapons, illegal arms dealers are also frequently involved in smuggling weapons unlawfully, obtained through deals with government or military contacts. In recent years, such enterprises have become increasingly globalized. Some dealers form smuggling networks that also deal in money laundering, drug trafficking, and more.
Alfred? The attempted terrorist attack on Kasumi Gasaki, a hotel bombing in Chicago. Alfred had a hand in all of them. What do you know about this criminal? Kano asked. Stanley's expression grew even darker. Alfred's signature is extremely meticulous planning. But I don't mean meticulous in the same way you or I might normally think. Their plans are perfectly imperfect. Do you get what I mean? Kano shook his head. Alfred deliberately engineers accidents to make things complicated and unpredictable. If it's difficult to get a good grasp of what's going on when the situation seems to be falling apart, people tend to not to consider that coincidental mishaps might be anything but. In the end, they don't even realize they were playing right into the mastermind's hands all along. Kinda could hear the intensity in Stanley's voice. Stanley. I'm afraid that's all I can say. Stanley held out his right hand. See you around, Kano. If we're still alive. If we're still alive.
Just for voting.
Still alive.
Yeah. One of the songs you can do CPR to.
No, not that one.
Oh. That's the one I was thinking about.
I was thinking of Portal.
Oh! Yeah, well that's different. There was a feather stuck in my hair. Oh.
Kind of let that sink in for a moment. Nah, I'll shake your hand after we finish this case. With a slight smile, Stanley withdrew his hand. Then the two bumped fists instead. Alright, we'll meet again, Kano. I'm sure of it.
You did it?
Yeah, see you then. No sooner had Stanley departed than Kusa's voice came in over the wireless. Attention all units! As of now, further investigation on the kidnapping case is suspended. The director's voice sounds strangely cold. I repeat, as of now, further investigation on the kidnapping case is suspended.
I was like, what?
Wait, hold on, sir, Kano shouted. What is it, Kano? Could you let us know why? We received information that Mario Ozawa has been infected with an unknown virus and has been released somewhere in Shibuya. That matched up with what Stanley had said earlier. An anti-bioterrorism security force. An anti-bioterrorism security force will probably be deployed in Shibuya.
Bioterrorism. Terrorism involving biological agents such as bacteria or viruses. Biological weapons are easy to acquire and transport than nuclear weapons, and because they rely on an organism's natural ability to proliferate or infect, they can yield powerful results for little effort. For these reasons, recent years have been widespread apprehension about the possibility that such weapons might be used by terrorists. In the event that a bioterrorist attack occurred in Japan, temporary quarantine and decontamination facilities would be set up in the area affected. What do you think is most correct? Viruses or Vira?
Vira.
They're both correct.
I know. But I still want Vira to be correct.
That's because that's that. But they're both correct.
This is no longer a simple kidnapping case. Our part in this is finished. No, it's not. We haven't managed to resolve anything. Colonel, I assure you, everyone else feels the same as you do. Because his voice had a cautionary tone. They're still performing the autopsy on the body found in the booming event that exploded. I'll let you know once we have positive ID. Kusei out. Kusei out! Yo!
This reminds me of that one antagonist from Yakuza 0. His name was also Kuze.
Director! But the lion had already gone dead.
Bantan.
Left at a loss, Kano gazed out at the cityscape. The sight of the bomb vehicle had calmed down briefly, but now that the news network had begun reporting, the herd of onlookers was growing. There was also a sizable crowd gathered outside of a large home electronics store. Large LCD televisions on display were showing a press conference being held by the governor of Tokyo.
So what do you want to do? You want to watch the broadcast, or you want to hurry over to his fiance?
Fuck his fiance! Kano might learn something new about the case. He decided to watch the broadcast. Keeping closely with the administration, we are keeping a careful eye on the situation as it develops. The governor's expression was solemn as he spoke. The moment he finished his statement, the reporters bombarded him with questions. This seems similar to the bioterrorist attack on Kasumigaseki 2 years ago. Is there any possible connection? What countermeasures do we have in the event that Shibuya is the target of bioterrorism? The governor was visibly disconcerted. If this does turn out to be a bioterrorist attack, we will establish emergency shelters with a large-scale quarantine station at Yoyogi Park. However, there are still many details that remain unknown. The politician was clearly struggling to maintain his composure. Can you comment on the rumors we're hearing that Shibuya might be blockaded off? Don't be ridiculous, the governor barked. What outlet are you with? Are you trying to start a panic when we don't even know all the details? Besides, it wouldn't be possible to blockade the whole of Shibuya. The press conference continued. The governor and the reporters locked in a belligerent back and forth. Kano left the electronics store and headed for the cafe where he and Shizu were meeting. He had to tell them both to get far away from Shibuya. The cafe laundrette seemed quiet when Kano arrived. Shizu was sitting alone. Kano scanned the establishment but didn't see Rumi anywhere. One of the staff greeted him. Welcome. Just one, sir? No, I'm meeting someone, actually. Of course, sir. The hostess smiled and then went on her way.
Hello,
Shizu was glaring at him. Kano walked over to him and bowed deeply. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm Shinya Kano. You look even more of a knuckle-dragger than I thought. Shizu maintained his appraising stare. Rumi had something she needed to do, so she stepped away for a while, he said after a long moment. Kano sat down across from him. There was a laptop computer open on the table.
A laptop computer? Right now the laptop is asleep. There's nothing on the monitor. Just before Kano came in, Shizu was browsing the internet. He takes his user handle from a nickname for the apples and grows on his own farm. Which are pretty little things and nearly as sweet as honey. I get that reference. It's the username from the Ayakami forum.
The waiters came by to take Kano's order, so he asked for an iced coffee. What are you using the computer for? Kano asked. On the internet. Shizu's voice was low and gruff. This cafe has an internet connection? May as well start with a little small talk. So what? Again, Shizu glared at Kano. The words wouldn't come. No, actually, this is no time to be making idle chit-chat. If they got infected with the virus, Rumi and Shizu might die. Look, please, you need to leave Shibuya right away. Shizu's face contorted with confusion. What are you talking about? Why? Kano wasn't sure if he should tell the truth or not. He was strictly prohibited from discussing a case with anyone outside the department. As a former policeman himself, Shizu had to understand full well the secrecy and the investigation required.
Girl is tickling me while treating my hair. Oh.
But it wasn't like he'd just up and leave town without a good reason. Please, listen, Kano said.
You wanna tell him the truth, or do you wanna be big about it?
Well, this has already been said on TV.
Not necessarily the thing that's bioterrorist.
No, but it has been mentioned.
It's
at
the thing
press
that we're
conference.
talking about, I think, is mainly the band.
Broken feather.
Yeah, it's your broken tail feather. That's what happens when you fly around and crawl in a cage.
I'm pretty sure it happened while she was in the box.
Yeah.
On her way over here.
Yeah, that maybe. It's just fine.
Listen,
It's just another
there's a risk of... What's that? What I mean is, risk of, Shizu pounded his fist at the table. Spit it out! Kano just couldn't say it. It didn't matter how he was talking, who he was talking to. He couldn't make himself leak the details of an ongoing investigation. Besides, there was no guarantee if a terrorist attack would actually happen. If they could just find and secure Maria Osawa before she went symptomatic. So technically the bioterrorist attack has already happened?
Well, technically, what they talked about, Kano and Stanley, was that if they could infect Maria, it means they could infect anyone. Who says they don't have a stock of the virus somewhere they can just release into the air in Shibuya?
I mean, that too, yes.
So, that is a bioterrorist attack. Having infected her is just a,
But here he's talking about Maria.
Yeah, because they did it with malicious. It could very well turn into much worse, even if they do get her.
Does this have something to do with the case you're working on?
Huh?
You're telling me to leave Shibuya. Does that have something to do with your case? Yes, Kano admitted. So why don't you run off with Rumi then? Shizu's tone was frank. Well, I mean, when Kano didn't have an answer handy, Shizu let out a single heavy sigh. Is your work important to you? He asked. Kano hesitated. Is it more important than Rumi? Well, again, Shizu caught Kano off as he waffled over how to answer. Me, I used to put my work before my family.
Suddenly changed voice.
I've been trying to figure out his voice.
Yeah.
There was no question in my mind that combating society's ills and solving cases was worth of any price. And because of that, I did some pretty reckless things. Almost wound up dead more than once. Shizu paused a forlorn look in his eyes. My wife did nothing but worry about me. So much that I didn't even realize when she'd worried herself sick. I was so caught up in my work that I wasn't even there when she finally passed away. It was all so very absurd to me. The waitress came by and set Kano's iced coffee on the table. It sat there untouched until Shizu looked at it pointedly. With a tiny nod, Kano brought the cup to his lips. The bittersweet liquid was a balm to his parched throat. I told Rumi the same story, Shizu continued. But I didn't tell her how absurd it was. I told her that her father only did what he had to.
Yeah.
He took a sip of his glass of water.
Dust everywhere.
Rumi, she's very much like her mother used to be. The personalities are almost identical, and I don't want her to suffer the same way my wife did. Shizu's first fist clenched in his lap. What was it that made you become a detective in the first place? He asked. Well, at first I got the job because I thought it would make Rumi happy. And then I guess also because I thought it'd make you like me, sir. It was the truth, but Shizu simply chuckled. If your goal is to get me to like you, you may as well give up now. I'm sorry, sir, Kano said. I can't do that. Are you just stopping around Rumi? She grumbled. I love your daughter, sir. I want to keep her safe to make her happy. I'm very sad. Whenever I think about her, I just feel so amazing. I'm sure that you or anyone can empathize with that. Everyone has someone that they want to protect to make them feel that good. It's an admirable thing wanting to be a detective and protect the happiness of the people. But that doesn't mean that you need to ignore your own happiness in the process. What you say may be true, sir. Earlier today my partner was stabbed, and today's his wife's birthday. Shizu arched his brow. Is he going to make it? We're not sure yet. Last I knew, he was in critical condition. This is why I keep saying that the life of the detective is... Shizu's word trailed off into a lamenting murmur. Even so, Kano was unmoved.
Dictum number one! Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever!
What's that? Something that a senior detective I admire very much said. It's a fundamental guideline principle of stuck to as a detective. But I was wrong about the real meaning behind it. My partner was stabbed. There are people I want to rescue. So much has happened, and now I finally understand what those words mean. When you see someone in trouble, you help them. That's not something a good detective does. That's something a good person does. Kano took a good long look at Shizu's face. He had surprised himself finding the words to speak his feelings so clearly, and he wondered what effect it had on the older man. I'm sure that from your perspective as my future father-in-law, me being a detective means that I'm putting my life on the line. But that's not entirely true. I can only be myself. This is the kind of person I am. I care about helping people. Even if I were a baker, or a brewer, or a bookseller, I'd still act the same way. Would be ridiculous. A baker and a detective don't assume anywhere near the same risk. I suppose that's true. Kind of fussed with his hair sheepishly. Shizu grumbled. I think I see what kind of man you are now. He sounded oddly defeated. Which is why now is not the time to futz around. Kano sat up straighter at Shizu's weighty tone. A detective needs more than just passion. A detective can't solve all the problems with sheer determination alone. But at the same time, he needs more than just the ability to coldly assess the situation. He needs the conviction to stick to a case when it might otherwise seem prudent to give up. There was something new in Shizu's expression now, and a gleam in his eyes that hadn't been there before. Kano almost felt like he was being sermonized to by a senior officer. Got that? You need a cool mind but a fiery spirit. A detective without both of those is worth nothing. Do you mind if I write that down in my notebook here? Look, Shizu said, sounding suddenly embarrassed. Are you in a hurry? Don't you have to get back to your case? Ah, yes, and sir, please, I need you and your daughter to leave Shibuya right away. Yeah, I hear you. Kano conjured up Rumi's face in his mind. There was a chance he might never see her again. He forced the thought away as best as he could. By the way, if I may ask, Shizu said, what was it about Rumi that made you fall in love with her? What? Where's this coming from all of a sudden?
Isn't that what a parent always wants to hear?
No, it wasn't just that. Kind of found himself tongue-tied again. I mean, she's pretty cute. Even if this is my own daughter I'm talking about. Shizu shocked him by grinning from ear to ear. Well, yes, she sure is. Kind of replied. But it's more than just that. She's also very sweet and kind-hearted. Ah, yes, patient. Yeah, she really is. For the first time, Kano and Shizu smiled at one another. For a man who lets his emotions show on his face, Shizu said. And for a detective, that's really not so bad. Thank you, sir, Kano said. He bowed to Shizu as he stood up from his seat. Never lose sight of what you are supposed to protect, huh? I like it. Wise words indeed. That's Kano said. Kano turned to look back and then bowed deeply to Shizu one last time.
Fun fact, if you hadn't listened to the broadcast, you would have gotten a bad ending.
Okay.
Because Rumi would have talked him into leaving too. Because Rumi would have still been there.
Yeah. Ability to coldly assess the situation. Kano knew that he needed to do what he needed to do. There was one thing that was nagging him. No matter how hard he thought,
Where are you going?
he thought about it, it still didn't add up. Why would Tasano let Al-Caravan go free? He needed to get back to the precinct and get the truth from Al-Caravan firsthand. As he walked along, he considered what he did know about the facts of the case. Just what sort of plan had Alfred put into motion here?
Alfred, what a name.
It seemed that Tanaka and Osawa held the keys to understanding. There had been relay handoffs of the phony attaché case. A relay that Tanaka had been complicit in. Then there was Hitomi missing, carrying the antiviral. Osawa had confirmed that himself. Kano was starting to form a vague picture of what Alfred was up to. If the mastermind's goal was to acquire the antiviral, then obtaining the cooperation of Osawa and Tanaka was vital to that goal. After all, the fingerprint verification was required to physically access the drug. In order to overcome that hurdle, Alfred had presumably managed to win over Tanaka somehow, and had then kidnapped Maria Osawa to provide leverage against her father. No doubt that was how they'd gotten Hitomi to take the antiviral with her to Hachiko. While the police were distracted by following the attaché case, Alfred would then take the antiviral from Hitomi. That was the general plan as far as Kano could surmise. Just then, a call from Kusei came in over the wireless. We've identified the body found inside the blown-up minivan. Kano's hand tinkled as it gripped the wireless.
Ah, fuck!
Mamoru Tanaka, male, 40 years old.
Well, they're never gonna get this from him.
An employee of Okoshi Pharmaceutical, positive IE was obtained from the subject's personal belongings. What? Kano gasped. If Tanaka was dead, it would now be almost impossible to access the antiviral drug in the laboratory. At this point, the only antiviral they had any chance of obtaining was whatever Hitomi was carrying. Kano thought back to what Stanley had said earlier. Even if we get Maria to safety, the mastermind is in possession of the virus. If they want to, they can unleash a terrorist attack in Shibuya at any time. Good lucky. The lives of every man, woman, and child in the city are in their hands.
Yeah.
No. What do you have there? A knife!
No!
A chill ran down Kano's spine. If someone did release the UA virus, there would be no way of stopping it spreading. If Alfred really was planning a terrorist attack, bioterror attack. Shibuya would well and truly become a city of the dead. He couldn't help but feel that the whole department was playing right into Alfred's hands. Kano staggered physically, straightened by the realization of just how terrifying the foe was up against. Continue?
Bam, bam, bam. Yep, we continue.
Well, let's take a break.
Oh!
And then we'll go over to Osawa and finish this.
Yeah, what is she doing? She's looking behind. So much noise. Yeah.
Or maybe we can already finish it?
Let's take a break regardless.
Yeah, let's take a break. We've been streaming for about an hour, so
yeah.
a break is in order.
Even if we have to go into the next ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aiko.
It's okay, I failed, it's okay. It's just Aiko being an idiot. Drop in the bottle. Tea bottle. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. No, it's because of tiny.
Anyways, we'll be back in a bit.
Yeah.
See you then. We'll be back.
Wheel.
Say something the whale.
I used to need to play.
I suppose. I don't know what thing you're talking about.
More.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Almost basically like an old school RPG.
So,
A really heartfelt and very real story,
yeah.
despite all the unrealness.
Oh.
Osawa. There we go.
Osawa.
Yes.
Don't do this.
What? Hello.
Before the news was shared with Osawa, with the Osawas, the members of the investigation team quietly briefed Detective Kajiwara. Osawa and I sat on the sofa on the far side of the room watching. They could see Kajiwara go pale. He wiped the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief several times. Bad news, Osawa thought.
Bad news indeed.
Mr. Osawa. Man. Kajiwara shuffled his way over to them at last. We've just gotten word from headquarters.
Headquarters! Right now the task force is in an uproar after a change in direction from the higher-ups. The detectives who were on the scene have been ordered to discontinue the kidnapping investigation.
Detectives! Let's go back!
No, let's not.
He hesitated ominously. Osawa braced himself. Please, let's hear it. It would seem that your daughter, Maria, is safe.
What?
What? Osawa felt an unexpected surge of relief. You mean it? The case has been solved? Added I. For a moment, they almost sounded like a happily married couple. It was only the stern look on Kajiwara's face that gave them pause. However, as of yet, we do not have her in custody. I'm not sure I understand, Osawa said. You know she's alive, but you don't have her? How?
Oh, this
Deep
is
furrows
exactly.
appeared in Kajiwara's forehead. I'm sorry, sir. The information we received from up top is complicated. We've confirmed that she was able to escape confinement. It's just the detective gave every appearance of holding something back. If there's something you need to tell us, then just say it, was what told him. It would seem that Maria has been infected with a virus. Infected? Osawa felt a taloned claw had just clutched his heart. It's not one I've ever heard of before, but apparently it's called the UA virus.
And both of them were like, fuck! Boy.
Osawa's vision went dark. He felt as if he'd plunged into a black void of despair. Darling? I asked raspy. She didn't need to put her fears into words. Ozawa felt them just as plainly on his own You're an expert on virology, aren't you, Miss Ozawa? Kajiwara said. Are you familiar with this virus? Ozawa held up a hand to forestall further questions. There was no time for that. How many hours ago was she infected? I wasn't told that much. Is that important to know, sir?
Very.
Depending on when Mario was infected, we may or may not still be. Ozawa trailed off abruptly as the reality of the situation struck home. This wasn't the same as when Izumi had been infected. Right now, there was no way of getting Tanaka's cooperation, which meant there was no way of accessing the antiviral storage. In other words, getting secure Mario would be impossible.
Oh,
Ozawa's head swam. Detective Kajiwara, I beg of you. Your people need to catch Tanaka as soon as possible. I can't share the details, but if you don't, something terrible is going to happen. Just then, Kajiwara's cell phone rang. He picked up quickly. What did you say? The detective's shout shattered the anxious silence that had fallen. I shuddered visibly at the outburst. Kajiwara nodded sharply, still listening. More creases formed in his forehead. Understood. I'll let them know. He hung up, all eyes were on him. That was headquarters. Ozawa swallowed the lump in his throat.
Well, they finally get to know
He
Tanaka
could feel
died!
himself quaking all over. A minivan we believed belonged to the syndicate exploded near Jinan and Shibuya. A body was found amongst this burning wreckage of the vehicle. Who was it? Ozawa interjected. Tell me!
Tell me!
Please don't let it be Nadia. Please don't let it hit me. It's neither.
It's neither.
Neither. Neither.
Both of them work?
Both? Both is good.
Both is good.
Kajiwara took a breath before speaking. He conclusively identified the remains as Mr. Tanaka's.
No!
Thanks. The cry was visceral, almost bird-like. Ozawa looked around in surprise. His eye. It's not true! You're lying! The shrill screams reverberated through the room. Again, this is loud.
Yeah, the music?
Yeah.
The music's like, oh god, panic!
Ozawa felt like he wanted to scream too. With Tanaka dead, there was no way of getting the antiviral.
Unless someone knows the password.
Which meant that Maria was going to die. I don't think anyone does. That's kind of the point of it.
Well, at least as far as we know. What if I know? Told you it'd be quick. Oh, let's see a preview. Baby. Further into the thing we're getting.
We're getting into evening time.
But you also only had until like 20 o'clock, I think, until the becomes symptomatic, or was it? No. Yes, 20. It's 16. Yeah. So, yeah. You don't have long.
So I wanted to stop here. Because it's a good time to stop. It's a perfect time to stop.
In a video?
Yeah.
This is not a video! This is a stream.
I just like things to be nice and tidy.
I know. But that's not how streams work. You're thinking, you're like, damn it.
I don't really have a choice, do I?
You?
No, I don't.
Yes?
How?
You always have a choice. You just have to prepare to live with the consequences.
What consequences?
I don't know.
That sounds ominous.
I'll let you believe whatever you want to believe.
I don't trust you.
Well, that's up to you. You're just looking at me like, I don't know about this. That's so funny.
This was also a fairly quick time slot.
Yeah, but that's
It was
also
very
because
short.
stuff like Usowa's, the first 20 minutes I wasn't on. So that's why. Stuff like that. There are sometimes if you go in to look at the time, you see those big like times. Skip some time. You can see there's even a skip there to 10 past.
It's pretty big there.
Yeah, and look at Usowa's there, right?
Yeah.
So that's why.
It wasn't until like
Half past,
15:30
yeah, exactly.
One started. And
Nadia
also had a big one.
Yeah.
The big ones in Archie's.
Yeah. So it ended quickly. Carlos has jumps here and there because they have a lot of transportation. They have like jumps here and there. So that's why.
So, yeah.
So that's why. Mainly because also was just short. But the pace is also starting to pick up.
Yeah.
Because we are, you know, getting into the meat of things. You know what I mean? Smile. He has a cute smile. Ah, yes! Hello there, Mr. Cane Man.
I walked counter to the throng of people heading toward the scene of the explosion.
Scene of the explosion. The explosion happened in Shibuya-ku Jinnan Ichome, near the intersection of Koen-dori and Oregon Hill. What?
What?
It says Chome.
Yeah, I know.
And the other thing is Koma. Whatever.
I know. I'm tired. There's a gun pressed against my back, leaving me no choice but to continue marching forward. I don't have time for this right now. There's something I need to do. My frantic sense of urgency grows and grows. Hanan. The only clue I have is that name. The other hazy snippets that have surfaced in my memory provide no answers. Please, just tell me, I murmur. Do you know who I am? When the man with the cane doesn't answer, I stop in my tracks. I'm going to start shouting, I warn him. If you want to find out who you are, then do as I say.
Oh god.
The barrel of the gun jabs more forcefully into my back. Once we find Hitomi Ozawa, you'll remember whether you like it or not. Guess I have no choice but to keep moving then.
Yep.
Smith & Wesson.
Yes.
as opposed as a normal police gun.
Yeah. They call it the Sakura in Japan. I don't know who made it.
What?
They call it Sakura, the gun they
Sakura?
have. Yeah, that's the name of the gun they use in the police force.
Well, let's do some investigation. Police. What's it called? Police issued. Gun, Japan.
It's based on a Smith & Wesson style design. Why he has an actual Smith & Wesson, I think that might just be because it's a prop.
What I come up with here is new number M60.
Yeah, it is double action revolver chambered in the 38 special based upon Smith & Wesson style designs. But they call it the Sakura, the Namco model.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see.
So that's why.
This one is also snot-nosed. That the one he has, the one they typically have is typical length.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact inches.
I mean, this one seems to be longer than we can actually see here.
Nope.
Yes, because you can't see the entire name Smith. So it's definitely longer than we can see.
What do you see on top here?
I know, but that
It ends
Smith.
here.
It's still, yeah, but it still ends here around.
That's still snot-nosed.
Yes, but what I said was it's still longer than what we can see.
Yes, but it's still snot-nosed.
I know!
It's still short.
I know!
It
I'm
has
not
nothing to
arguing
do
with
what
you there.
It has nothing to do what we can see or not see here.
I wasn't arguing with you, I was just stating it. It's longer
Why?
than we can see.
Yes, but
I was not arguing at all.
I don't know why you brought it up.
Just to state the facts?
And confuse everyone?
Yes.
Is that your mission? Confusion?
Yes.
Okay. Also, I like that they use the noise for cocking a gun. The gun is not cocked.
Yeah.
But he has trigger discipline, so that's nice.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I think it's just the sound effects too, though, so we can actually hear what's going on, because it's still pictures most of the time.
Are your memories really that precious to you? The man mutters as you start to move again. I'm taken aback by the question. Well, yes. I mean, isn't that pretty normal? There's a bit of a pause before he replies, his voice sad and distant. You're not going to remember just the good times, you know. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I mean, that sad and painful memories are going to resurface too. I guess I hadn't really thought about that. But still, whatever kind of memories they are, they're all part of me. I'm the person I am now because of the sorrow and pain too. I want to remember. I want to remember who I am.
Yeah.
The gunman directs me dispassionately along a series of quiet side streets. Right here. I stop at his words. In front of us is an old multi-tenant office building. We ride the elevator to the 8th floor, then use the emergency exit to take the stairs up to the roof.
A rooftop! Now there's nowhere to run.
A cool breeze blows across my cheek. sit down there. I do as he says, settling myself on the outdoor air conditioning unit. The man lowers his gun, but keeps it in his hand. We'll wait here for a bit. For how long? He lets out a rueful chuckle. Guess we'll have to wait and see.
That's not an answer.
I decide there's no point in trying to fight with him. For now I have to hope he's telling the truth, and whatever is coming will help me get my memories back. If I don't know my past, how can I know what to do about this Canaan stuff or anything else? I stare up at the sky as I wait for whatever this assassin is waiting for. The silence between us is suffocating.
Safe.
Finally, I can't take it any longer. Hey, so I think this is yours. I hold out the notebook I picked up earlier. The man's surprise is plain on his face. Where'd you get that? I saw the picture inside. He snatched the book out of my hand. Then he flips through it, looking sad. I'm afraid that another agonizing silence is about to descend when he speaks at last. This is a picture of me and my childhood friends. His voice is low and quiet. We were inseparable back when we were kids. The boy here, he liked to fiddle with machines. Always doing things like taking apart radios and whatnot and putting them back together. He was a total bookworm too, so he got picked on a lot. But I was always there to save him from the bullies. All of a sudden the guy's sharing it, I guess. I can feel his aura of murderous rage starting to abate. The girl here was the same age as us, but she felt more like a big sister. Whatever stupid things my other friend and I got up to, she was always willing to laugh it off.
So, what do you want to do?
Stay quiet. I decide to stay quiet and keep listening. We both had a thing for her. A bashful smile comes to his face. I mean, that's how it always is.
Typically in stories, yes.
When we were in high school, she told me that she liked me too. So the two of us started dating. But I just have to ask, what about the other guy? He never said anything. I'm not sure how he felt deep down. Oh, alright. So then, is she your wife now? No, we broke up not too long afterward. The man carefully slips the notebook into the pocket inside his jacket. How come? It was nothing in particular, really. Things just didn't work out.
So, that goes.
He lets out a little chuckle, then stands up and brushes the dust off his pants. He looks strangely lonely.
Tina, bitch!
I had a feeling.
And too many things spoil your candy.
I think we'll stop here. We shouldn't do a little longer, and I'm tired.
It's also getting late. It's almost 10.
Yeah. So, we will pick up from here next time.
On Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Like they can see.
Yeah, you did it too.
I was saying something at the same time. The gesture was just for me and you.
Peace, dude.
I wasn't necessarily meant as a piece, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
That's what it means.
In some countries, not every country, this means peace.
That's how it originated, okay?
No. That's how it originated in the countries where they use it for peace. Other countries have other things for peace. Before globalization was a thing.
Up yours.
Sure, whatever.
Up yours, peace.
Sure thing. Whatever you believe is right.
Anyways, we're gonna head off for now.
Yeah.
And we will see you again Tuesday.
Yeah.
For our next stream. Do check out the VODs for this stream on our YouTube channel. Same name as our Twitch channel.
Yes, you can catch up.
Personal A Space. And there you can also check out the VODs for my others, for another stream that I'm doing personally, where I'm playing World of Warcraft.
Hardcore!
World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore.
Yeah, I know it's classic hardcore, but I just say hardcore because I think it's funny.
Yeah. So that's where I am playing on a random character, which is like random race, random what's it called? Random class, random name, random.
So used to Final Fantasy 14 where it's jobs that you forgot the word class.
Maybe, I don't know. I just forgot the word class.
That's fine.
And see how far I can get before I die, and inevitably have to start over.
I know.
So
Good
far
luck with
I've
that.
gotten to level 10,
Nice.
and then we'll see how far I can get from there.
Yeah. Good luck, I say.
As a dwarf rogue.
That is such a combo, though. Small, bulky person. Backstab. Oh, it's stealthy. Step. It's so weird. But what can I say? Last time I played WoW, I was
So, yeah, there we on our YouTube channel we also have a pre-recorded video series where we play Virtual War.
Yeah,
So go check that out too.
yeah.
I think it's quite fun. We're getting a bit better at editing and whatnot because we divided up the workload with editing.
Yeah, I take all the
So-
boring stuff and she comes up with all the jokes.
Yeah.
Basically. Obviously cut it down. Make sure that the R sounds and sounds from the computer are aligned.
Yeah.
And then I find out where potential jokes or other things Ramona has to do could be, and then she looks at it and decides what to do.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And then I also make the thumbnails. When I do that.
But as for the WoW stream, I typically stream on Mondays or Tuesdays.
Yeah, because you don't have to go anywhere.
That's where I mostly have time to do
You
it.
don't have work.
So. But we will see you guys next time.
Yeah! Woo! Don't wake up the neighbors. The
Yeah.
children.
It's weekend. It's fine.
Children still have to go to bed.
It's weekend. It's fine.
Toddlers still have to go to bed at
weekend,
7
it's
or
fine.
8. No, it doesn't matter if it's weekend or not. Babies don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, at least do it for the birds.
Somebody this morning didn't give a fuck.
That's true. That is uncalled for. You shouldn't do anything on the weekends.
No.
I know all about that. When I lived close to like a university, like dorms, basically, some people decided to have parties. I think it was a Saturday morning for some reason. I had just come home from work, so that was very annoying.
I mean, we
I just
also
want to sleep,
we also
man.
had the one time here where you came home from work and there was a wedding going on outside.
Yeah. Early
That
in
was
the
loud
morning.
as music.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay. I just want to sleep though. Alright, have a wedding outside of a fucking apartment building, will ya?
It's
People don't want us to make noise in the night. But how about not making too much noise in the morning either? People with night work.
Yeah.
I take care of people's lives here.
Or at least, let us know
Yeah.
that it's actually happening, so we don't have to call the police and be like, yo, there's so much noise out here, what the fuck?
Yeah. I just want to sleep. I'm tired. I've been up for 20 hours. That's
So-
how I feel sometimes.
yes. Anyways,
We should go.
No more complaining.
bye.